How's everyone doing? Of course it's Tuesday today, so that means it's new video day. And as you can see, I haven't got my face on, so looking a bit rough. But I just got a little mini haul from Yes Style delivered today. So I thought, why don't I do a little bit of a mix between whispering and soft-spoken, and we'll go through what I got. I needed some like new mascaras and stuff, and I got some lipsticks that were on offer, so I thought, get a few of them. So I am gonna do another putting on my face war paint, whatever you want to call it, put my war paint on video. I will do another video later on this week where it's probably going to be me not doing any talking but doing some sounds instead. So if you have any suggestions that you'd maybe like for Thursday, then leave us a comment, and if you haven't done already, if you want to click on the subscribe button and click on the notification bell as well, just so it'll tell you when I upload new videos. And of course, everyone's always welcome to leave a comment if you do have any suggestions or ideas, or even if you just want to have a bit of a chat. Right, let's get to it. The only things that won't be Korean or Japanese is my Revolution concealers, because I haven't actually found a Japanese or Korean concealer that actually works on my skin. The foundations and the BB creams and all that aren't too bad, but for some reason the concealers just, they don't seem to work well with me. But the Revolution ones do, and they're about the only Western things that I do regularly use. So we'll start with that. First of all, I have prepped my skin, so I've used my usual stuff, the Meson Bioplacenta Ampule. There's also a Meson Placenta hydrating cream that I use as well, and the Cosrx hyaluronic acid fluid, and the Benton aloe vera toner as well. I use that pretty much every day. I do have a different nighttime routine as well, just because my skin is really dry at the moment, and yeah, suffering a little bit with it as well, especially, I tell you what, my hay fever has been absolutely terrible again, because of the allergic rhinitis I got diagnosed with a little while ago. It sends me doolally, so I've had to have the full sort of hay fever medication kit, if you want to call it that, so antihistamines. I even ended up using my eye drops as well today, because my left one especially was really bad, and I'm finding it hard to concentrate on stuff, mainly because I can't breathe. But they've stopped me from using the Otrivine nasal spray that I usually use, and that's because it causes a rebound effect on you. So because I was using it for so long, it's actually give me the symptoms that I was trying to get rid of, so it means you end up using it more and more. It's almost like an addiction, not to the actual stuff, but being able to breathe. You get an addiction to that, and then you end up using it more, and then all of a sudden it just stops working, and then it just makes you 10 times worse. So whatever you do not use anything like a Sudafed or an Otrivine nasal spray. I forget what the active ingredient is, but it's not good in the long run. It's only ever good if you want to use it for a few days, like maybe when you've got a cold and if you've got trouble sleeping, obviously if you're all congested and that. But other than that, when it says do not use for more than a few days, follow it, and I can attest to that. I have been absolutely terrible. But then again, I do have a slightly deviated septum as well, That was when I broke my nose when I was 19. I got hit in the face with a door when I was out clubbing one night. I'll tell you exactly when that was. It was during the Six Nations rugby tournament. This was when I was living in Edinburgh. Scotland were playing Italy at Murrayfield. And yeah, we were all out clubbing that night and everybody had come out. So the whole Scottish side fans, and the Italian fans, and this tiny little Italian woman just come flying out of the ladies in this club called Opium in Edinburgh. It's a rock bar I used to go into a lot, and they have massive heavy oak doors. And yeah, I goes down to get the door handle to open the door into the ladies' restrooms, and it just went crack like that. Smushed my face in, and it was oozing with blood all down my face. I was quite drunk at the time, so I didn't really pay any attention, but as I started sobering up, because I didn't have any money on me, the pain started, so I went and got more money after cleaning myself up, obviously, and then proceeded to get more drunk, because you know that's what 19-year-olds do. I ended up in A&E the day after. All my face around here, it were black and it were all puffy and all like that. It were absolutely horrible. So yeah, they were gonna say, oh, you might need surgery, and obviously being stupid at 19, I went, nah, it'd be fine. I'm suffering because of it now, so listen to your doctors, okay? I hope everybody does want a bit of a rambly video, because I am in a very talkative mood tonight. So, but anyway, let's get started covering up some of my sins. My skin has been bad again recently, and I'm putting that down to the weather again, because it's been weird. Over the weekend we had a load of snow, and now it's absolutely glorious sunshine outside. Still a bit cold, but you know, it's tolerable. It's nice though. There we go. I did think I'd try this though. This isn't my usual primer, which is by the same, which is a Korean brand, but I thought I'll give this NYX one a go actually. I've used it maybe once or twice. I'm not entirely sure if I like it, but it does seem to keep my eyeshadow on. And of course I've washed my hands as well, so I'm not just touching my face with greasy ass fingers. But yeah, I'm gonna leave my concealer on for a bit just to let it get to the same temperature as my skin. Now I'm gonna do my eyes first actually. 'Cause you know what I'm like, normally I put my face on first and then I put my eyes on, but there is a label over this, but it's Etude House. Look at my eyes singles. I'm just going to do my usual makeup, you know, my black eyeliner. I have had on, you know, like some colours and stuff during the weekend. It's something that takes a bit of time for me, just because it's not something that I'm used to. So I'll just put it on the top, because I'll put my under eye concealer in now. But here we go. Start with the first thing. This is the Super Twin eyeliner pen. I forget who this is by actually. Merrimond, I think. So another. I think it's actually relatively new, this. And here we go. There's me thinking that I'm being clever by pre-opening all the packets so I can get in them. And then it takes me forever to get in them. There we go. Oh, that's very fine. I like that. Not one of these ones that I do have to stretch my eyes out when I do me when I do a wing eyeliner. I don't know, it gives me a better idea on what I'm doing. I don't know, that's not too bad. Sorry, but I do have a tendency to hold my breath as well. I don't know why, but everybody has these weird things that they do, especially when they put on makeup. You've got your own little weird things that you do. Give it a shake. Not like an eyeliner that's got a little shaker ball on the inside. That's better. See, yeah, my eyes don't want to go with the actual liner. If that makes any sense. I do need to hold my eyes taut. I mean, probably not like, you know, pressing hard enough when I try and do it, but nah. When makeup artists are like, oh, you've got to do this and this is how you do it. No, you do whatever's comfortable for you. This is how I put my eyeliner on. That's another thing as well, getting them even. That look about right. Meh. Don't really worry too much about stuff like that. So yeah, I usually put mascara on last. So I'm going to do that last, but if I just take this out, just got a damp sponge. So yeah, how was everybody's weekend been and start of week? I actually had Monday off work yesterday. I ended up cleaning a bit. And then I went out, did a bit of shopping. with my mum. She dragged me to B&M's and we got a lot of crap that we don't need, because that's the law. You go to B&M's and you go out and buy a lot of crap that you don't need. You go in to buy bleach. You know, you go in to buy bleach, maybe some fabric softener, and then when you get back to your car after buying everything, you've just dropped 126 quid on something that you really don't need. You come out with a trolley full of just junk. Just because when you're walking past it you think, oh, that's a good idea. Oh, look at the price of it, it's not bad, I'll have one of them. You don't need it. Really what you should be doing is going, no, you don't need that, put it back. Don't care if it's $4.99. You don't need that little step stool. You don't need, you know, the 3 for 2 offer on, I don't know, fabric softener. You just need one. Concealer's not too bad. I am going to go over it with this though. This is another Etude House product. It's a Precious Mineral BB cream. I really like this one because it's got SPF of 50 and I am incredibly pasty. What am I even doing? I'm putting straight on my face. No, Georgie, you're not going to be that weirdo. I should put some on the back of my hand. And then put it on my face. I like it because it's got the SPF 50 in it. Because if there's one thing that ages you quicker than anything, then it's sun damage. And this is why everybody needs to wear an SPF, whether it be in the makeup or even if you use a sunscreen specifically for your face. Because when your skin gets sun damaged, there's no going back from that. There, here we go, I'm just smashing this into my face with my damp sponge. Doesn't give a particularly matte finish. Normally I do quite like a matte finish. This is a little dewy. I don't mind it. I'm just not raving on it. There we go, get me neck. Just rub that down my neck. I haven't got the patience to stipple it on with my sponge. We'll just let it sit for a little while and then I might go over it again with the sponge, I don't know. Yeah, it normally doesn't take me this long to do my makeup in the morning. It takes me about 10-15 minutes at the most. So this is why I do the same makeup pretty much every day. I can do it good, I can do it quick, and it means I get an extra 10 minutes in bed, and I prefer my bed. So, what do you reckon? Yeah, I suppose the foundation isn't that bad. Well, the BB cream, sorry. I'll show you some of the other stuff that I got, actually. Now, this one I already had, but like I said, I've been buying mainly mascaras and lipsticks. The eyeliner I did buy as well, that come in a little box. I didn't really get much of anything. I did get my mother a mascara as well, because she always needs mascara. Do I want some more over the top of that? Probably not. It's not too bad. I will just stick some of my under eye concealer on again, the Revolution Eye Bright one. Just a little bit. And I might put some powder on over the top of this. So, I've got an interesting story for you. Now, when I was a child, my mother noticed that I had something weird in the back of my throat. I think we'll make this a little medical based video for tonight. Well, yeah, my mother noticed something odd in the back of my throat when I was little. Now, they thought I'd swallowed something and bruised the back of my throat. I ended up going to the doctors and I went to see several ENT specialists. So that's the ears, nose and throat specialists. And they said it was a birthmark. So it's about that big, actually, and it's on my right. It's right on, I think it's the adenoids. You know, your adenoids and your tonsils and that, they usually get taken out when you're a child, especially if you're especially if you're prone to getting things like throat infections or tonsillitis. So yeah, it's about, if you know what a British 50p piece looks like. If not, go and Google it. In fact, it's maybe what's bigger than like a 10-cent piece in America. 50p is a little bit bigger than that. So, yeah, it's about the size of a 50p piece, and it's on the right side of where my tonsils, adenoids are. And it looks like a piece of liver. And a little bit lumpy as well. So yeah, ENT specialist said that it was a birthmark. And roll on to about 4 years ago. In fact, a little bit before that, maybe 6 years ago, I started getting this weird lump just there under my tongue. And just under my tongue, it'd swell up to about the size of a bean, like maybe a kidney bean, a little bit smaller. And it would fill up with blood. And then all of a sudden, I'd be talking away and somebody would go, "Georgie, why are your teeth red?" And then I'd get this taste in my mouth. Oh my god, it's just popped. The little bean-sized sack full of blood under my tongue would just explode. And then I'd have like blood literally dribbling down my face and my teeth would be red with it, and people are like, "What is wrong with you?" So I went again to the doctor asking about it, because you know what it's like, you get something like that and then you just think, "Oh my god, I've got gob cancer." So they ended up sending me away to see yet another ENT specialist, and it booked me in for an MRI scan. So I went to the hospital. In fact, a triumphant return to the hospital that I was born in. Hospital. Yeah, triumphant return to the hospital I was born in. Yeah, Oldham General. I get my MRI scan. So when they do the MRI scan, obviously because it's magnets and it's magnets that get sent around that tube thing at stupidly high speeds, and it makes that horrible clanging and weird noise. It's absolutely horrible. But they make you put earplugs in, and then they put like headphones on over top, and they pipe the radio in, and it's also like a two-way thing, so you can hear them and they can hear you, just in case anything goes wrong, or if they're very, very claustrophobic, these, but that don't really bother me. But yeah, they give me a cannula as well, so they could put some reactive dye in, because I've got loads of fillings, because I've got terrible teeth. Nothing to do with being British, but that is because I've got dental fluorosis. If you don't know what that is, go and look it up. I also have 2 fixed retainers on my top and bottom set of teeth, so they needed to put the reactive dye in, just because I've got that much metal in my mouth. Anyway, yeah, so I ended up having an MRI scan on my head and just about shoulder height, because they wanted to find out exactly what this thing was underneath my tongue and in the back of my throat. I'm lying there, rigid as anything. I'm listening to XFM on radio, which is alright. They were playing The Cure at the time, and I wanted the guy to turn it up, but anyway, I'm in the tube. The magnets are clacking and banging away and making an awful racket. And then I farted. I farted in an MRI scanner, and my head were in, and for some reason it drew the fart up to where my head was, where you're not supposed to move, or else it ruins the entire scan. So I'm there going, don't laugh, don't laugh, don't laugh. And then all of a sudden, I don't know what it was, but the smell hit me. And I'm trying not to gip when I'm in this MRI scanner, trying not to laugh, and all of a sudden this bloke who's in the control room comes out through the headphones going, "Georgie, love, you alright?" I'm like, "Yeah, perfectly fine, perfectly fine. Right, we'll leave you to it, don't move." I'm trying my hardest not to laugh at the fact that I've just farted in an MRI scanner and it's drawn it up into the machine, and I crop dusted myself is what I did. Not on purpose, but I crop dusted myself. Oh, but yeah, they come in about 40 minutes into this scan. So the scan itself lasted for 70 minutes, and that was literally just my head and like top of my spine. So yeah, 40 minutes in, a nurse comes in, they pull me out the machine, and then she fills me with this reactive dye, and that is the worst thing ever. I am not joking, because in the few days after that I had that reactive dye put in me, you could not get me off the bog. Honest to God, it is so disgusting. It gives you terrible diarrhoea. Well, it did with me anyway, and it did say on the information sheet as well, if you have the reactive dye, this is one of the side effects. Like, for God's sake. Oh. So yeah, 70 minutes worth of MRI, 3 days worth of diarrhoea afterwards, and I'm like, this better be good. Right, this better be good, whatever this thing under my tongue is, whatever this thing at the back of my throat is. Turns out it's an internal arteriovenous malformation. Now, arteriovenous malformations are really, really rare, but a majority of the time that you may have seen them or heard about them is when they manifest on the outside of the body, and they can cause redness, severe swelling, and deformation of the body part that it's on. They're not a very nice thing to have, especially if they are external. Try not to knock my microphone here. But yeah, I really do feel for anybody who's got an external arteriovenous malformation. It is just essentially a massive collection of capillaries and blood vessels that don't really do anything except exist and be a nuisance. And they can cause a wide variety of problems. So, for example, with the one that I have at the back of my throat, obviously because it's internal, I was prone to tonsillitis and throat infections, when I was a kid. So, because it's as big as it is, and it actually goes quite a way back into my flesh as well, into the back of my throat, and it's quite lumpy. I can't have anything done with my tonsils. I cannot have my tonsils removed, just because it would cause more bother because of this malformation in the back of my throat. It's the same reason why I probably can't get a tongue piercing or anything like that, because the one is actually behaving at the moment. This one, it pops out every so often, especially when I'm stressed. It's weird. Yeah, that's one of the main reasons why I can't have surgery like that. But my heart goes out to anyone who's got an external arteriovenous malformation. Yeah, keep at it, guys, because it's I know it's not a nice thing, and you probably don't want the pity, but nah, these are special people. And another one is, I think this is the main reason why they give me an MRI for mine, is the fact that they can also form on the brain, and they can cause things like fits and seizures, which is dangerous enough on its own, especially when you don't know what's happening, or if you end up falling. You never know, you might fall into traffic, hit your head on something. It's not very nice. In fact, if you want to know somebody famous who has an AVM, who had one, on the brain, it was actually operated on and they managed to remove it, but TJ Miller, the guy that was in the Deadpool movies, he had one on his brain. But that's why they give me the MRI scan, was to check that I didn't have one on my brain, and I didn't have one like maybe on my spinal cord, because I apparently now, after they confirmed it with the ENT, I have two completely separate arteriovenous malformations. Both of them are in my gob, so the one at the back of my throat and the one that's under my tongue. And they said that's not something that you come across every day either, so I'm probably in a journal somewhere, I don't know. Oh yeah, that's my thing. I have a thing with hospitals and doctors. I'm not a massive fan, but hey, when you gotta go, you gotta go, aren't you? But yeah, I'm waffling again, and I went over my face that many times with that sponge. Hey, what can you do? So I'm not gonna do anything crazy with highlighter or attempting to contour or anything tonight. I'm just gonna literally do what I usually do when I get ready for work in the morning. So I'll just get a little bit of powder on my big fluffy brush and go all over my face, because while my skin is predominantly dry, I also get really warm quickly, and my skin gets greasy, and I don't know what's worse. There we go, less shiny now. I'm not a massive fan of dewy foundation or anything like that. Nah, I like to look statuesque. Now, I didn't buy any blushes this time. I do have a soft spot for blushes, but this one is a really subtle pink. It's Eclipse. What colour is it? 01. Yeah, it's very subtle, this one. I quite like it. Nothing too over the top. Well, I was actually in hospital for about 2 years ago. In fact, it might have been a bit longer, I don't know. But the perils of being a woman. So, obviously because I'm 34, you get to a certain age, you start getting invited for smear tests. Now, if this is something that you don't particularly want to listen to, then I will give you a bit of a disclaimer right now, just to say if you don't want to listen to ladies' problems, turn off. If you are not bothered about that, that is absolutely cool, carry on listening. But some people don't want to hear certain medical things, which I think is a bit sad. Educate yourself. You need to listen to things like this being said, normalise it, but just thought I'd do that anyway. You never know. But yeah, listen to some lady problems. So yeah, I went for a smear test. The nurse at my local GP surgery did it, which was dead nice. And then they sent for me shortly after. You've tested for abnormal cells. Now, when they mean abnormal cells in a smear test, that means that there's something not right down there. There's something changing, and it shouldn't be like that. So, I think if I remember correctly, I had a second smear done, and that came back abnormal. And they were like, right, yeah, you need to go and see a gynaecologist. So I get booked in at the hospital, another triumphant return to my birthplace. Ended up there, I saw the gynaecologist and they did all the tests. Won't go into too much detail, but obviously you're on your back and you've got your legs up in stirrups and what have you. And they've got all the tools, they've got a camera up there as well, and I'm like, what the bloody hell's going on here? I'm crapping myself, to be honest. So yeah, I'm like looking over my shoulder behind me and I can see my cervix on this 24-inch bloody flat screen telling behind my shoulder. And then the gyno's there, like, she pops her head up and goes, yeah, you can look if you want, it's alright, love. She says, I'll tell you what I'm doing. Like, alright, I might learn something then. So I keep looking over my shoulder. And she's like, right, so what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be spraying some solutions up there. Now, this is something I did not know, right? But they use a combination of vinegar, right, as in vinegar that you put on your fish and chips, vinegar mixed with water, right, and they spray it on your cervix, and it actually it causes a chemical reaction with the abnormal cells that they're looking for. So as soon as she sprayed it up there, all of this flesh around my cervix, it went white, and she went, yep. Like, oh my god. She's like, right, calm down, love. I'll do some more tests, and then they spray iodine on this tissue as well, just to, I think it shows up a different colour, obviously, because it's iodine, but to where the cells are. And then she said, this is probably going to require surgery, but it's pretty extensive. I had quite a lot of tissue that needed removing. So she says, I think we're going to book you in to gynecology ward in hospital, and you'll have to be put under general anaesthetic. And as soon as she said that, oh God, my heart fell out my arse. If there's one thing I hate more than anything, it's being knocked out. And she saw the look on my face, and she's like, I'll have a word with the surgeon and see if it's something that can be done under local anaesthetic and sedation, she says, but to be honest, you'd probably be better off having it done under general, because they wanted to do the LETS procedure, which is a superheated wire where they literally carve the affected tissue away and it cauterises it at the same time. But they also, because mine was pretty extensive, they wanted to do laser ablation as well. So she took a couple of biopsies. They were horrible. She took like 2 or 3 biopsies, had it confirmed what stage cells, abnormal cells, were in there, and they were like CIN3, which is like the highest grade before they actually start getting into precancerous cells, which is actually what mine were turning into. She says, glad we actually caught this where it is, because when it starts getting into precancerous cells, that's when they need to, you know, be a bit more aggressive with the treatments. It's not going into like chemo or anything like that, but yeah, CIN3 is like maybe the second last stage before it starts getting, you know, a bit of a problem. So anyway, my fella very kindly had a couple of days off from work and he took me to hospital. It was a really hot summer's day actually, so of course I was nil by mouth, can't have any fluids except maybe water and all that business. I was absolutely starving. The nurses were brilliant in that hospital as well. I had a pair of Deadpool slippers, and they said if you want to bring in some slippers and maybe a nightgown or something like that, just so you're a bit more comfortable, you're more than welcome to. Took my Deadpool slippers in, everybody loved them. And then, yeah, the anaesthetist come in doing his rounds, and the look of sheer horror on my face must have alerted him to the fact that I was absolutely terrified. Not much scares me, but being knocked out on purpose like that, being on a slab, having surgery done, absolutely scares me senseless. So he's like, you don't need to worry about it, he says. It's a relatively short procedure, he says. You're not going to be in there long. And I'm like, right, yeah, but I'm going to be knocked out though. I said, you're going to be turning me off and on again. He's like, that is actually a good way of putting it. Yeah. Turning you off and on again. I was like, I have a problem with not being in control. This is why I don't get absolutely 3 sheets to the wind drunk. It's because I cannot handle when I am not in control. I said to the anaesthetist, I said, I am the one driving this meat sack around. And he started laughing. And he was just like, oh, I can't go up, because I'm making him laugh. He's like, I'll see you in a bit, I'll see you when you get brought down. I'm like, I hope not. Yeah, he was a really nice bloke, bless him. But yeah, they'd had some issues with other surgeries earlier on in the day. I should have gone down at about 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I didn't end up going down till about 3:30, 4:45, which stressed me out a little bit, I must admit. But anyway, they get you in the room, and obviously they have to go through the whole procedure. They ask you umpteen times on what your name is, your date of birth, if you're allergic to anything. If they ask you that once, they ask you like 1,000,000 bloody times during your stay in the hospital. And then I get taken into the anaesthetic room, I think it is. Got this whole team of them around me. I started panicking the anaesthetist is holding on to my left arm with an absolute death grip, because he were trying to get my veins to pop out, and I don't know why they didn't use a tourniquet or out like that, but that must be a method that they use. I don't know. I've got a woman going, you need to calm down, sweetheart, at the other end of me, sticking all of them little monitor things on like your toes and your fingers and all that business, because my blood pressure were going up, obviously because I was stressing out, and I had this really nice bloke trying to get another cannula in me. Oh no, you can't do it. And then I literally looked away because the anaesthetist just said to me, he said, tell the guys what you said to me when I come doing my rounds earlier on. He says, what am I going to be doing? I said, you'll be turning me off and all again. And I started panicking. He was like, and what did you say to me? And I tell you what, he did a bloody good job, because he took my mind off it. Getting this cannula shoved in my arm, and then subsequently all the stuff going in me, the Beijing cocktail of whatever it is that they used to knock you out with. He said, oh, tell everybody what you said after that. I was like, I drive this meat sack around, it's not you, I'm in control. And then he just went, right, start counting backwards for me. 10, boom, gone. And then, yeah, I come to trying to claw this thing off my face, and I was just going like that, like, getting off me. Nurse at the side of me, you alright, love, do you want a drink? I'm like, with that oxygen thing up your nose, I'm trying to get it off my face, and my fingers would not work. And she's like, calm down. I'm like, no, I need to get out. I don't know what it is, but I do that every time I've been knocked out. I want to move and I want to leave. First time I was ever knocked out, I was about 5 or 6 years old. I got taken into hospital to have some pretty severe teeth extractions, and they gassed me to sleep then, and it took about 3 porters to actually hold me down so they could stick that mask on my face, because I was freaking out that much. Arms were going everywhere, legs were going everywhere. I do not go down easily, and I fight it every single step of the way. Anyway, I've got this mascara here. I'm rambling on again, I hope you don't mind. I'm in a very talkative mood. So this is the Meself Collagen Curling Fix Mascara. This is one of the new mascaras I got, so I'm going to give it a go and see how it gets on, because my lashes are a bit sparse at the moment. I like quite liquidy mascaras. I generally do think they go on a bit better than a lot of dry formulas. I'm gonna give it a coat first on each eye and do my makeup face. It's finally getting a bit darker outside now. I'll give it a moment just to dry off a bit. Yeah, it's getting quite dark outside, that's good. Getting cooler as well, I am absolutely boiling. Well, definitely not a big fan of hospitals or going to the doctor. I suppose I am trying to get a little bit more healthier, even though since lockdown I have put at least 14 pounds on, and that's mainly because I've just been eating absolute crap most of the time. I have been a snack monster, and I used to actually go to Pilates class once a week for an hour with my mum, and it was nice just to get out and do an exercise that I actually really quite enjoyed. and I was eating a bit better then as well, so I got down to a particularly nice weight for myself. And everybody says, oh, you've never put a stone on you, there's nought to you, there's nought to you, you could do with eating a cheeseburger. Like, no, I couldn't. I feel absolutely horrible with extra weight on, because my mobility has gone downhill and I feel tired and sluggish and generally quite vile, so I just wish this virus would do one, then everything could get back to some kind of normalcy, and then me and my man could go back to our Pilates classes, because that's another problem as well. You're less likely to exercise at home, and that's never a good thing, because you go, oh, I'm gonna do that, I'm gonna start eating better. No, home is usually where all the cake and biscuits and crisps and everything live. Also don't stop you from buying them in the first place, and you say, yeah, I'm gonna do an exercise video, or I'm gonna do one of them YouTube videos that does half an hour of exercises, like blah blah blah. You never do it. Not if you work like a full-time job, or you know, your willpower isn't as good as what you think it is. But it's nice. There's also the social aspect as well of, you know, physically going out and being in a class with a lot of other people who are maybe in the same situation as you. It's encouraging and a bit comforting as well. You know that there's other people doing the same as you, and it's fun. It's a lot more nicer in that kind of environment. You know, when you're in a class of, you know, people that are doing the same. So I can't wait till we can go back properly. And yeah, hopefully get a bit fitter as well. I'm also trying to cut down, at least with the intention of quitting smoking. Problem is, I do actually enjoy smoking, but it's not good for you in the long run, and I've smoked for a long time as well. So yeah, I've got a vape. I'm not smoking as much as what I usually do, which is a good thing. And it is just gradually cutting down for me, because I do not have the willpower to go cold turkey at all. If I went cold turkey, I wouldn't last. I know I wouldn't. And then I'd just go and smoke a full pack. Well, yeah, I'm doing it my way, so it's helping. It's really helping. At least I'm not, you know, double smoking. You know, when you have one cigarette, and then I'll like look at my watch if I'm on my break at work and go, I've got 5 minutes, I'll have another. I'm not doing that. So, I've got 3 lipsticks here. How do you say this? It's rom and. I don't know. I always thought it was like kind of clever. I'm trying to say it romandy or something. I don't know. But yeah, I've got a few lipsticks, zero matte lipsticks, and I've got one here as well by Karinko. Now this one is pretty cool actually. I opened it up earlier on. Now, regular lipstick packaging, but it's magnetic. How cool is that? It's quite red, that one. Let's have a look. I think it's more like I don't know, maybe more like like a balm or a tint. Let me try and get these out. So yeah, this is one of the Romandy, I don't know. That's quite nice. A bit corally, I think. And then got this one. This one's called Adorable. And that's more like a blush colour. I think I might go for this one. Yeah, I quite like that one. I don't go in for lip liners and all that business like that. I literally do not have the patience. But some of the other things that I got. So this is one of my all-time favourite mascaras. This is the Dahliism Smudge Stop Mascara by Hamish. And also got this one as well, Perfect Curling Mascara by the same. And yeah, you saw the eyeliner as well earlier on. The Merrimond Super Twin. I really did like the point on this actually. I don't know if you'll be able to see that. It's not bad. I can see it drying out pretty quick though. But yeah, like I said, I'm not gonna faff about with any highlighter or contour or anything. See, look at this, right? I made the mistake of cutting my fringe the other night, and obviously with it being under that little headband thing, I also have this ridiculous cow's leg right here. So usually when I wake up in the morning, my fringe is like that. I've got cow's legs all over my head, and no amount of coercion will make it stick down. Yeah, this is my everyday look. Obviously I'll change it up with different lipsticks and what have you. But yeah, I'll go through what I used. Precious Mineral BB Cream. This is the moist version. Etude House. Current favourite powder. This is the Lavisia. This was one that I actually got in a No Make No Life box. So yeah, I took a chance on the NYX HD eyeshadow base, like a primer. My usual concealers, my under eye one, the Eye Bright by Revolution. And this one is the Conceal and Define Infinite. And then yeah, we've used this Romand Zero Matte Lipstick in Adorable. And then the Maison Collagen Curling Fix Mascara. So yeah. And yeah, one of my favourite blushes, Eclipse, in shade 01. Anyway, I've probably prattled on for quite a bit now about various medical issues that I've had. Probably not going to be the last as well. Ugh. Well, yeah, if everybody wants to subscribe, click on the notification bell, leave me a message as well. I don't know, do you want to talk about some instances where you've been in hospital, or maybe any weird or unusual conditions that you might have? I don't know, I always think it's nice to learn about these things. find things like that fascinating, and I just want to hear what everybody has to say as well. So yeah, if you want a bit of a natter or what have you, then be my guest, come and leave me a comment. And also, if you do have any suggestions or ideas on what you think I should do for my Thursday video as well, leave them down below and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Obviously, I'm still in a bit of a situation where I haven't got the space to do certain things, so I'll see what I can do anyway. But in the meantime, I am gonna go get myself a brew. I'm gonna chill out and, funnily enough, watch a bit of Grey's Anatomy. The most medically inaccurate programme ever. My fella often says it's got no right being this good. He's kind of right though. They're absolute terrible people. Well, yeah, I'll leave everyone to it. I hope you have a good night. I hope I've prattled on enough for you and at least give you a laugh. So yeah, have a good night everyone.